I guess it's time to start.
I'll be starting.
We're starting.
I
Are you
see.
guys ready?
I
It's
don't
been a
know.
while.
It has.
I do not know, but I'm sure we will find out.
Start.
All right. Welcome back to Silent and Deadly. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be closing this bad boy out. This has been a great little summer project just to get our hands wet with Genesys. And don't worry, we've got more Genesys projects coming up. I don't know why that was funny.
Vladimir Rockabye is just, he's having problems with his morality.
No,
I
you know,
see.
there's innuendos going on. It's an innuendo thing, you know? And,
Innuendos?
Innuendo.
At my table.
Innuendo. Yeah.
I do not know. Maybe it's a giant fat joke.
Whatever you Americans say, you call that, you know? We don't have so many hang-ups, you know what I'm talking about.
Anyway, last time you guys were on a plane headed to the mountainside, I believe.
You're supposed to tell them to like and subscribe, you jack.
What is wrong? Like and subscribe, you jerk. That is not the name of our podcast.
We'll toss that in as a pre-written role that we can put on every one of them later. Okay.
You all suck. Now click like.
So, you discovered quite a bit about your nemesis collectively. That there are over 1,000 copies of him.
He's got the hives.
He is. He does have hives, I guess. But there are 25 of them that are rogue, and you guys are hunting one in particular. You don't know what he can do. You just know that he's in Hong Kong, and that's where you're headed now. On this plane with, I believe the captain is unconscious currently.
Is the captain
So-
unconscious? Good. I have
No.
not spent all my experience.
No, I
points.
don't think he
need
was
piloting.
unconscious. I think I EMP'd the plane.
You did EMP the plane.
I
You
got
did
knocked
do
out
that.
by the big guys. Knocked aside.
That is correct. So, the big guys, we took care of those guys, right?
Yes.
But
think
now
so.
the gas is coming.
Yes, and the gas was coming, but you guys turned, like, he EMP'd the plane, and that's what turned the gas off.
Some things like that. That sounds good. Let's go with
I
that.
don't think it was
No, I
off.
think-
It was
okay,
No,
so-
I did the computer and it slowed it down, and we were about
Yeah.
to.
And then I shocked the guy,
Yeah.
thinking making him unconscious severs the link between
Yes.
Right.
the ones that had the powers.
and then we ended.
And that's where we ended.
Yes.
Yes, but I thought they were coming out of their stupor when he shocked him and broke the concentration. I could be wrong, but
I
not
don't-
likely.
I don't remember that part.
Whatever-
Yes, I think that's correct.
Oh, okay, yes, that's correct.
That is good. Yeah.
Whatever happened to get us here, we're going to skip about 30 seconds into the future. Sorry, guys, we can't remember what's going on. It's been a month and a half.
And if we'd only
Since we last
recorded
recorded.
it, then we could go back and
Only we
Oh
could
my
record
goodness,
it.
I don't have notes.
I don't have notes.
It don't matter because it's a
I had
hive
notes.
anyway.
They're at home.
Yes.
However we got to this point, we now have
Poorly.
Jacques Clouseau
Very poorly.
and Eric Hunt in the pilot's chamber trying to land this thing.
Nice.
I actually have piloting skill.
do
Would
you?
you like me to try to fly it?
Well, see, the only problem with that is I'm still handcuffed to the fat guy that I stunned.
Are you still handcuffed to him?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, never mind. I guess it's Vladimir and Eric.
We can attempt
right.
to
Also,
fly
you
this
missed the
plane.
time that I said, regardless of how we got here, that's how we were. But we'll let it fly then.
Irregardless, he's not a word.
All right. So you guys are trying to land this plane.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling in the back
That's where we
smoking a
are.
cigarette.
Oh, so
You tell
do you have-
me.
do you have
We'll
any
get to you guys
skills
who
in-
are still in the cabin
All right.
soon.
how hard is it to fly this thing? I mean,
Well, you're still trying to get the controls and stuff back on.
I see. Okay,
Again,
so
the plane was EMP'd.
anybody got any mechanics?
This might be a
skill?
real short adventure.
I do.
Very good.
I've got mechanics and computer skills.
Very good. I think you should need to try to bring up the bring up the controls. Hey, it feels like mud in here. What is wrong with this? It's very stiff.
All right, so
Power.
Kat, where do you go? What are you trying to do to turn the power back on in this thing?
Well, I was sitting down enjoying a nice smoke while I was going to look. While y'all were going to
We're going to be smoking in the side of the mountain in the minutes.
If we're going to
I
die.
smoke. I stress smoke.
I see. Could you do that after we get the plan working? I don't mean to interrupt.
Smoking hack. Smoking hack.
No wonder you're a hacker. You smoke.
I pull out my little tablet and I start working on
Trying to get
The
into
computer-
the
in
computer
computer
systems on the plane.
systems. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So make a computer check.
All right. So again, it's been a while. So what you do is you take your intellect,
okay.
and that's going to be represented by green dice. Okay. And then how many computer skills do you have?
1, 2, 3.
For every computer skill you have, replace a green with a yellow. And now, difficulty.
Your difficulty to hack into the plane's computer system is going to be average, so 2 purple, but you're going to have 2 setbacks because the computer system was just hard turned off.
Which are 2 black dice.
So that'll be 2 black dice.
Okay. We're going to go with a problem.
Isn't a problem.
Everything turns
She has become Udell.
It's like all blank.
All right. So you get rid of all your blanks, which in this case is most of them. The 2 fails. Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't have any successes to offset those, but you do have 1 threat and 2 advantage. So this is going to flip to 1 and cancel this out.
So you have 1 advantage.
And 2 fails.
It's a very strong single advantage. Okay, so with that advantage, you can do things like passing a boost die, which are the little blue ones, to an ally. You can kind of create a sort of narrative part to the scene that maybe wasn't there yet. So like you're hacking. You don't get in, but you find like it needs a password, and the password is probably on the captain. You know, something like you can introduce something like that.
Or there's a hard reboot that we need to manually reboot it, and
Yes.
there's a hard reboot. You failed to get in the computers, but you realize there's a mechanical reboot somewhere on the plane that we need to find, or something like that we could use a story point to.
Okay. All right.
Like that
I
idea.
noticed that there's tiny keys hanging from clips on the name tags of each pilot.
Okay.
And I look down the aisle and realize there's 2 red knobs where you put the keys in at the same time with 2
to
different people.
reset the whole
And
system.
reset the whole system.
I see.
Perfect. Yeah.
So I send them to do it.
Easy enough.
Why I light a
I'm going to-
cigarette.
I see. Okay, you can't like
Hard part's
shoot
done,
the
man.
key in when you were doing the cigarette thing, you know?
Well, at this point, we should have 0G smoking going on. So, I mean,
It's true.
So do you guys comply
Yes.
with the request?
Yeah.
Okay, easy enough. No check needed.
Okay.
There's no risk to you guys doing this. You found it. You turn the key, and the plane does start a reboot system, but it's going to take a little while. Not a ton of time. And what's happening now is that the plane has been kind of coasting, going down, and you hear a loud snap, and one of the flaps on the wings has busted, and so now you feel the plane leaning to the right.
Well, okay, I am going to attempt to see if I can manually. So the system's rebooting. When it reboots, I will attempt to fly the plane. I will try to
Okay.
wrestle it back under control. Do
So-
you have any piloting skills?
Go ahead
I got
and
one.
go
got
ahead
one? I
and get
got one
ready
too.
on those.
So we're going to
controls.
work together as pilot and co-pilot.
Okay, go ahead and
Okay.
get ready on the controls. You guys are going to basically it's going to take a full minute for the reboot to happen, and by that time the plane will be kind of angling downward and to the right.
Minute's a long
You guys, it's a long time,
Yeah.
but it's a big plane. You are high up, and you're not like plummeting.
Okay.
For the most part, you're still a plane, so you're gliding on the air like normal. And It's not like nobody like steered the plane in a downward fashion before it got turned off.
Tied off those.
Seems like something Clouseau might have done.
Speaking of, no.
we toss parachutes out and attach them to the back of the plane so that we can...
Create some drag.
So I'm gonna say it takes a minute for the full reboot to happen, and in the meantime, you're kind of familiarizing yourself with the controls. So go ahead and make me I think it's called operating check or piloting.
Piloting.
I think if you want to make your piloting check easier during this minute, make an operating check.
Are we still going through the mountains?
There is no
Yes.
operating skill. Is that a piloting?
Is there not an operating
You
skill? on
didn't
there?
include it
I
on this
didn't include it
particular
on this
one. Normal Genesis has an operating skill.
Yeah. So since I
Oh.
didn't include it, don't worry about it. Just make a piloting skill.
Okay, so...
I forgot that I'd taken
do you want to... We will boost each other, sir. So I will boost you and you can roll.
Are we going off of
Agility.
agility?
Oh, you got... Yeah, I'll assist him.
And I can't
Okay,
higher.
so if you're assisting him, you don't actually need to roll.
He just gets a
You
boost
pick
die.
up your agility dice, so you got 5, and then you actually get to
And you get one of these because you got one in pilot.
Might wanna
yeah.
get
Well,
one
you
of those
can
too.
you can actually use Vladimir's piloting skill. How much piloting do you have?
I got one.
You just got one?
Mine's
Okay, then
actually
you get a
zoomed in
boost die.
Sorry, a blue.
Oh.
No, just a blue. But you still get
Alright, so
4 of
two.
those. Yep.
Yep.
That's your roll. Now, how hard is it?
The difficulty is going to be 2 purple and 2 black. Hard with 2 setback because you're trying to like kick this thing into gear as soon as it comes on.
Yeah.
That is good. Yes.
I got panties and the penguins. We're getting all that.
Got it! Love it! He did it!
Disadvantage. Actually, all of the disadvantages wash.
That's our symbol.
These two,
Pennies and penguins.
those wash.
I think we're gonna get a very different audience
Probably.
than what we're
Those
actually
wash.
looking for.
And then
I'd be interested to
that
meet that
just
audience.
washes to this.
I
Actually-
would not.
So that is what you were.
It'd be
left
highly
with.
entertaining.
It would be.
Two success.
2 success.
2 success, no
success.
advantage.
No.
Bingo. You get everything turned on, and you start to level out the plane, but you notice that even though you're maintaining a little bit more elevation, it's still veering to the right. So it did not reset the flap that's on the wing. That's going to have to be manually adjusted.
Oh, so we have to climb out there?
Very simple. Send out.
Well, I can use my parkour to turn story point and just get where I wish to go.
That's true, but you only have 1 story point.
But then we use other people's story points too, you know?
I'm trying to see what you have. I think it would be funnier if you went.
No. We wish to live through this thing. Yes, him
But it's more
handcuffed.
setting up a scene. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. You just wish to get rid of him. Be honest.
Somewhere in the back, there's Clouseau, holding duct tape, going, "It's okay, I got these."
Yeah, absolutely. And then we go, yes, okay. You have these.
Who's going?
If it takes going out, I have no mechanic skills though. But
It wouldn't take much mechanic. It's kind of like kick the thing.
okay. Well, in that case,
Do I
I
get roll
will.
luck?
I will climb out
Who has the
there.
most
No.
brawn? Who
No,
has
it's
the
more
most brawn?
agility.
Agility?
I think yes. I actually have them. I'm built for moving and stuff. So,
Mr. Rock Me Balls. Good.
yes, yes.
Proceed.
That is what I do. So I will save my parkour for getting back into the plane.
Good call.
And I will use. I will tie myself off. Okay. I should have taken magnetic boots. Actually, I have still have some gadgets that I can like. So, I have boots that will allow me to magnetize onto
Okay.
things because everything's about climbing. So.
Sure.
And I have spring. They can spring, help me launch, or they can also
Spring
magnetize.
or magnetize.
Yes.
So let's roll, I'm guessing gadgetry or luck.
I actually have one in each. now.
So
So
which one do you want to roll?
I'm going to roll gadgetry.
Now the difficulty is going to be to get both effects functional right off the bat. It'll be a hard check. So it'll be 3 purple dice. Now, would you like to spend a point to upgrade?
You mean my story point that
Your
gets
story
my ass
point.
back in the play?
Yes, that one. The very
Actually, I'm
same.
just going to go for the magnetized then.
Okay, so you're just going to go for magnetic boots, so just an average check.
And it's intellect or cunning?
Yeah.
Either one?
Pick one. Yeah.
Okay, I will pick cunning.
Well, are you using gadgetry or luck?
Luck.
Luck, then yeah, cunning.
Okay.
It's not promising.
No, I had 2 advantage. That's it, and a fail. I did not succeed with 2 advantage.
Okay, 2 advantage though.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend a story point. It does have springs.
All right, spring shoes.
It can also magnetize. It can do both. But you unfortunately activate the springs.
I see.
So instead of magnetizing to the side of the plane, you shoot yourself off, and I'll need you to make a coordination check to
Okay,
catch.
I am tied off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No, that's fine. You can be tied off all you want.
Luso's holding the other end too.
All right, how
You
hard
gotta
is
get
the
hands.
coordination check?
Coordination check is going to be hard.
All right.
So three purples.
Do I get the boost because I'm tied off?
No.
Oh, I was successful.
With a threat, it looks like.
With 1 threat, I had 3 success
Ooh.
with 1 threat.
Okay, so you will take 1 strain because that was not supposed to be what happened. It kind of rattles you momentarily.
All right, so
So you kind of take that first step out, and
try
almost
to
in
activate my magnetic shoes.
almost in Clouseau fashion, you like kind of tap them together. You know, you're Russian, so like how much you tap your boots together, and boom, you shoot straight out the side of the plane.
I do not think that was supposed to happen.
And
off!
and so you kind of grab that rope behind you, and
Smoke is just filthy.
it holds you kind of in place. You're waving up and down on top of the wing until you're able to grab onto something, and you actually find yourself right next to where you wanted to be.
Oh, what's luck?
So you can go ahead and kick that thing closed, and then pull yourself back in.
Okay, I will kick it closed, and then do I need to roll anything?
No, you can pull yourself back on the rope. That's totally fine.
Okay.
And you get back in, and let's go ahead and roll that piloting check again. We're basically going to fast forward to you being at a landing strip.
Okay, and I will again give him boost.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be average this time.
2.
Plane's in right working order. Yes, 2 dice.
It wasn't working order.
Well, it's got advantage. 2 advantage. So we don't crash hard. If that is what we were going for.
Those. And those all
Yeah, so
I'll look
those
at these
yeah.
two.
Yeah, so those
wash.
wash and that washes
There we go.
and leaves you with 2 advantage.
Gotcha.
All right, 2 advantage. I'm going to say you do successfully land the plane, but you're not able to get into an actual airstrip. You wind up having to land it in like a large field.
A rice patty.
Probably. It's very destructive and overall a bad idea. But you were not able to, we'll say you were not able to like convince the air traffic controllers that you belonged there or that you were the right people to be landing that plane.
So like when we rebooted the system, it wiped out the,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, well, and you didn't know like how to communicate with them. You're not trained pilots. Not
We are trained pilots.
Not in the sense of like trained to fly commercially.
Oh,
Or speak Chinese.
with a particular airline or speak Chinese. You probably aren't so great at that.
Probably.
no. So okay. So we are now in a rice paddy somewhere. How far from the city?
Not
We're
terribly
going to
far.
Hong Kong, right?
Yeah, a few miles. You can see the city fairly close.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll take a boat to the city.
No. I don't think that would be necessary this time around.
Oh, okay.
However, I think that the really conspicuous plane landing in the middle of the field is probably going to attract some attention. So you will want to leave fairly quickly.
And we will take our friends that we knocked out and we will put them back into the pilot's seat,
Okay.
and we will hit one of them in the head to make it look like they hit. Well, in fact, we'll just slam him into a dash, so it'll make it look like so he's unconscious.
This took
You
a dark
know?
twist.
We're just going to take these unconscious people and beat them into the dashboard of this airplane
So that they will think
to
they
make
were
it
the
look
flying.
like an accident.
Yeah, since they were flying the plane, then we would get out.
Oh
and,
man, I just started watching Chernobyl, and yeah, that's about how they make accidents look. So,
We just like start sitting all the unconscious people like sitting up in the chair, like posing different ways, like cocktails in their
Well, this
hands.
Clouseau draws on their face.
Pour alcohol like all
No.
over the pilots like they were drunk.
While this is going on, Clouseau's actually gathering reeds and stuff from the rice paddy to have his next outfit.
His next costume ready to go. All right. One problem. The squirrel, or who was he last? I can't remember. He
was the
Richard
squirrel.
Van
He was the
Koop.
no. He wasn't the
Krupp.
squirrel last. The
Richard
squirrel is
Van
still
Krupp.
hiding.
Yeah.
Dimitri.
I think he was Richard. I think he was still the British version. He's still unconscious.
Oh, great.
He was at
At one
first,
point.
Okay. And then
he shifted personalities.
okay.
I guess we better take homeboy with us.
Yeah, I guess so. We have safe house here. Is it we are trying to go to?
I don't know. Do you?
I don't know. I know a guy.
You probably do know a guy.
Kingsman's probably got a safe house, huh?
I will call him on
Probably.
my phone. I assume we don't need anything special just to call someone on the cell phone. The cell phone.
Probably not. I don't know that super spies use regular cell phones, but yeah.
Well, of course,
Sure.
it'd be an encrypted phone, but that's just the way it would,
Sure. So who do you know?
Um,
You get those from
Diphthong.
Walmart, right?
Diphthong Miramoto.
Diphthong?
So are you going to have a conversation with yourself right now?
Oh.
How's
He
that
said-
going to
I thought he said
play out?
diphthong, like tongue.
Diphthong.
I thought he said diphthong. I was like,
I don't
what?
know how well we'll be able to hear you. You're sitting real far away.
Diphthong. Well, did we do sound check? I thought that's why I didn't move it earlier.
We did not do that.
Oh, I can't. Well,
Diphthong.
hello.
Hello, I am speaking to you with my voice. Thank you for calling.
Would you like a soda? Okay.
So you have a contact.
I have a
Are
contact.
you going to flip a story point to tell me you have a contact?
Well, I know a guy. I don't know if I need to flip a story point, but
Is it a talent you have?
yeah, I have to see what it actually does. So yeah, we'll flip a story point.
Okay. Cool. So what is the name of your contact, Diphthong?
Yeah, I figured that's
Sounds good. Okay. So the phone rings and rings and rings. And then
great. I have a contact. He's not home.
how do you get in contact with this guy? Like, is it a special call? Is it just a person that you know?
He's got a cell phone.
He's just a contact. He's just like there's no. You're a super spy, and you just get in touch with this guy by just like ringing him up.
Why not? I mean,
Because that's not how it works in spy movies.
okay, I send up smoke signal.
That he doesn't see because you're outside the.
He calls a special line and leaves a special message.
Okay, so you call this guy,
The panties are in the outhouse, and then I hang up.
and then you hang up. Okay,
The penguins and the panties have met.
okay. He calls you back Because that's for whatever reason that's your secret code.
What does he say?
What's the right thing?
I don't know. You have to.
I don't know the secret uncle passwords.
The penguins are frozen.
Okay, that's what he says then.
Okay.
The penguins are frozen. What can I do for you, Vladimir?
Deep Dog, is that you?
Apparently. Going Russian. This is
He's a confused Mongol.
I went with a Russian accent because that's the last thing I heard.
Okay.
Hey, there could be Russian Indian
In Hong Kong, yes.
Hong Kong.
Undercover.
Live in
She's
Hong
undercover, you know?
My mother was Chinese.
Once. She was Chinese once. Hey, we kind of crashed outside of town. We need
That
to...
was you?
Yeah, well, yeah, sort of. Yeah, it's a long story. I'll tell you... why am I doing that?
It's going to be great for the YouTube. I wasn't going to say anything.
Clouseau is invading his personal space just to make sure that the phone is not bugged.
Fair.
Okay, there you go. I think we're okay. There's a thumb in it, though. I don't know what that's all about.
No, the spy gadget is your hand.
When I go like this, it makes cell phone.
makes
You
cell
know,
phone.
it's a special, it's a special.
It's a glove.
Circuitry. Yeah,
It's a glove
circuitry.
that you, when you do this, it's a cell phone.
Right. And when I do this, I get to flip story point.
He's,
Yeah.
he's powered by Alexi.
Alexi.
Okay, we have failed miserably tonight so far.
Hey Siri!
Yeah, what's wrong with Siri?
Okay, Google.
Okay. So, hey, yeah, no,
He's not goggle.
we had problem with plane, and they would not let us land in town, so we just found a rice paddy. Seemed like good idea. And Erkant, you know, he's able to, you know, air is in his name, so he can fly very well. So he landed us right here in this paddy, and we have someone that we need to bring in. We need to get into city and find his comrades.
Yeah, bring a rickshaw that seats 5.
That is right. I don't have my jetpack with me, so
Did you try the boots?
yes. But they're spring boots, and it almost made me fall. So you know.
What do you think I can do for this person?
Yeah, that's not so much what you can do, but you say you saw a plane go down, so maybe you know. Is there someone nearby? Is it
Everyone saw plane go down.
everyone?
It's on the news.
Everyone didn't see Godzilla. How could everyone see plane go down?
This is different country.
Oh,
We could not see Godzilla because he's too far away.
I see. Okay. We made the news. Hey, we're on the news.
That is not
Great for
something.
secret spies.
It is not. Just to be clear, Vladimir, that is not something that spies should cheer about.
I agree. You know, but still. My mama always told me I'd be somebody someday.
It's good to be famous. Perhaps not Chinese famous, but it's good to be famous.
So, okay, so anyway,
Chinese famous.
okay, so let us.
What's Chinese famous?
I don't know.
I want to know. Explain, please.
Tiananmen Square.
Oh yeah. Oh, now we'd be banned in China. They cannot air this podcast in China because we mentioned that.
If I'm going to
you
be
know?
honest, this conversation has gotten away from me a little bit.
We have broken the GM.
So,
Please return in 5 minutes.
we need transportation, and our resources are rather limited. Do you know a guy?
I am.
Do you have the guy?
Listen, the GM is not going to spend story points for me to know a guy that knows a guy that you know. That is not going to happen.
So that's why I call you. You know, because you know a guy.
No, I think I am the guy you know.
Oh, you did not sound like the guy I know.
Listen,
Rousseau chimes in. I am confused.
Then we are really in trouble.
yeah, I can provide. I don't know where that one came
Information from nothing.
from. I can provide a small, safe location, but I cannot provide much more.
No. Okay, we need a starting point. Because we do not know. We have not made contact with these people. So, yeah, if you can direct us, give us an address.
At this point, like while you're talking, Richard starts to come to a little bit. He starts rubbing his head.
He is completely dressed from top to bottom in reeds and moss.
What the?
So he can blend in with the rice paddy.
Where?
Wait, you dressed him?
I'm still handcuffed to him.
So like y'all didn't see him, and then you see the reeds start moving.
I thought you put it on yourself. I didn't know you dressed.
What is the wrong thing to do? That's what Clouseau's doing.
Oh, that's funny.
Where are my clothes?
I do not know. I think I may have left them somewhere.
Oh! And he tries to put his other hand to his head and realizes he's handcuffed to you, but he's suffering some kind of crazy migraine right now.
What is wrong, Richard?
What is that? Who is that? Who are you hurting, Vlad?
We are not hurting anyone.
You just got to China and you already torture.
We don't torture anybody. It is a friend of ours that we need to. We do not wish to discuss that over this encrypted channel, but still, we do not wish to discuss that. Perhaps we can meet in person.
I don't think I will be. I am undercover, Vladimir.
You don't sound very undercover.
I am in my apartment. You gotta have some place to act like yourself.
Who are you undercover with?
Nobody. I am undercover.
I see.
I'm here gathering information. This is what you are spy too, no? This is what. This is what.
No. It's Vladimir Rockmables.
This is what we do.
That is true. But we have information. We are here to gather people, I think. So,
You think?
I
That doesn't
think-
sound like information.
no. We have
Oh! Get it out! Get it out!
what is going on with you?
Get
sir?
what out?
That's Richard. He's screaming that. You don't know.
Okay. Hey, give us address. I need
But
to
I'm
call
not
you
Ian.
back.
Oh no! Bad visual.
Do I get a story point?
No. Yes. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Take a story point. Go for it. There you go.
Do I get story point too? No?
Nope.
Well, I never used mine. There it is. We'll get somewhere eventually.
Clouseau,
Yes.
you say that, and he takes his left hand, which he was holding his head with, and begins karate chopping your hand, trying to get it out of the handcuffs. And you take 7 points of damage that is going to go through your soak because it's not hitting any armor.
What is
Because you see that his hand is edged now,
Oh, like a blade.
and it's cutting through your arm.
Okay then.
what is going on? I will quick draw, and I will shoot him with tranquilizer dart.
But we need information.
Yes, but we don't need him to become one-handed.
Would it be so bad, really?
If there are other parts of his body, we'd probably remove before we remove his hand.
Roll the trank. Difficulty is going to be 3 reds.
3 reds.
Yes.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket. 2 advantage. I failed, but with 2 advantage.
What would you like your 2 advantage to be?
That I accidentally shot Clouseau.
Nice one. His hand getting chopped off.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm okay with that.
No, I know. I know you'd be okay with
Is that how you want to roll it out?
that. That I did not knock him out, but I hit him in the arm. It didn't knock him out, but I hit him in the arm, so his arm is now, it's like Novocaine. And
I'll give him a setback for that. Yeah,
exactly.
that's fine. So I think you hit him like in the shoulder as he's chopping down, and he just kind of looks at it and looks up at you, and you kind of his face has changed as well. Like he has this look in his eye that's almost animalistic.
Okay.
And so he just kind of looks up and screams at you again, and then continues trying to chop down. You're not taking any extra damage yet.
Okay.
So the entire time you hear Clouseau, parry, parry, dodge, dodge, parry, parry, dodge. He pulls out his stun pin and tries to pop him with it.
Okay, cool. Still 3 reds.
Which is going to be that. It didn't happen.
I know, 3 reds.
With a threat.
He's got a big time amount of adversary. 1 threat.
1 threat.
I think you try to shock him, and you like hit the button wrong, and it shocks your hand. You take a strain for that. Yeah, so he's still chopping at you, then yes, go ahead.
Can I grab a dagger from in between my thighs and try to throw it at his hand and pin it to the wall?
So you guys are kind of in the middle of a field.
Yeah, there's no wall.
There's no wall.
Oh, I thought we were at an apartment.
No,
not yet.
we're still
Not
in
yet.
the middle of the
Oh,
swamp.
never mind.
The rice paddy. And you do have your boots that shoot knives, too.
It becomes a blade.
Oh, that's right. It just becomes a blade. Yeah, it just
Okay,
becomes
can
a
I
blade.
ignite my boot and try to slice off his arm? Not
Sure.
his arm, the other guy's arm.
Take off Clouseau's other one.
Yeah, so you don't really have to do any rolls to activate your heal now. You can just try to make the attack check.
Okay, so that's
So it'll be whatever your melee skill is, plus your brawn.
2.
So start with your brawn, which is 3 greens. How many ranks do you have in your melee?
2 ranks.
2.
So then you would replace 2 greens with the yellows.
Okay.
And the difficulty is 3
3
reds.
Please despair, please despair, please
I'm
despair.
waiting for one.
It didn't happen.
Lots of panties.
She still failed, but has advantage.
Okay, how many advantage?
One.
One advantage left. So you kind of take... So because you have 1 advantage, I'm not going to let him take your shoe off, which is what was going to happen. So you kind of... You activate the blade in your shoe, and I think your failure is that like you're slowed down because you're basically in a mud field. And so these heels are digging into already the ground, and extending that blade makes them dig in a little deeper, and it just kind of slows you down in general. The advantage will be he stops trying to cut Clouseau's arm for a moment, and he's just kind of panting, sitting there. Let me out now.
Clouseau plays dead.
He's
Dead
like
weight on his
falling
arm.
Richard, what is going on?
Not Richard. Let me out now.
Where's Richard?
He's gone. I don't know where he is.
Who are you?
Let me out. No! And his hand kind of transforms a little bit more and gets more of a metallic sheen to it.
I am going to shoot him again.
Okay, go for it. Tranquilizer dart or...
A tranquilizer.
Okay.
I was successful with 1 threat.
Okay. I'm going to let him roll resilience against that.
Of course you will.
How long does your drink last?
Well, it lasts for a couple hours. It just
Okay.
depends. So, you know.
So I'll pop him 2 reds. And you gave him a setback already.
Okay.
Would you like to spend a story point to make this a little more difficult for him?
Oh, sure. Ooh, is that the despair?
He despaired. He despaired, but he did succeed at the resilience check.
Wait, look at all those.
So these are threats. Oh, these are fails.
Yeah, so he
Yeah,
did
no,
not
you're right.
succeed.
Stinking Genesis dice. Still can't read them. He did not
I
succeed.
can't read any dice, so it's been a month since you explained it.
Well, you understand
Yeah.
panties and penguins, so I mean that's obviously all right.
So is he unconscious now?
Yeah. Yeah, you knocked him
Okay.
back
I
out.
say we uncuff him from Clouseau and cuff him hands behind his back to himself. I don't want you to cut your arm off, okay? I don't think we want to be cuffed to this. Is that okay with you, Mr. Clouseau?
Oh, I'm perfectly fine with that.
And we need to tie
Okay.
up his feet.
Okay. We will tie him up as good as best we can.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. And I don't. How many sets of cuffs do we have?
It's up to you guys. I think probably no more than 2 between the 4 of you.
Yeah,
Okay.
You generally don't take people into the station.
I'd
You
be
know
the
what I
only
mean?
one that would legitimately have a reason to have cuffs.
So
Right.
we might have the zip ties.
Yeah.
Because those are
Yeah, you'd probably have something like that.
Or some kind of cord from the airplane.
okay.
Yeah, they definitely have something on the airplane that you could use to tie him up.
Parachute
Yeah.
cord,
Yeah.
paracord.
I
So,
think, I think that's a good
But
idea.
I think he's going to cut through the cord. What I've seen is this guy. What is going on with him? And is he continuing to change into this metallic monster?
No, not anymore.
Okay. So we tie him up.
We could also give him not exactly a tranquilizer, but some kind of other poison to slow his senses, where he could still talk but not control his body.
Okay.
Something more paralytic, like
Like
You got
sea
some over
snail
there?
venom or something like that.
exactly.
Yes.
Why not?
He's got some sneeze now. Sneeze.
Of course I do. I'm a
Sneeze,
police.
sneeze.
Sneeze now.
Sea snail venom. If you can say it 5 times really fast, then you have it.
I'm out.
So I am going to concoct a poison.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have time for that. Like he said, and you guys still on the phone, by the way, but he had said, like, you guys garnered attention. People are
We
coming.
need to get out of
You
here.
need to get out of here. You don't have time to sit down in the rice paddy and make poison. That takes a little bit of time.
Ah, fair enough. So we need to get him out of here. Of course, no one can see him because he's camouflaged now. So
But that's a good idea for when he wakes up.
yeah, I don't think he'll be running through the city like this. So we're in a rice paddy. What is around us? I mean, are there roads? I mean, well, plus Honk.
I mean, there's no roads right next to you, but you can, like, it's basically fields until you start getting to the smaller parts of the city,
okay. So we're carrying him.
Yeah.
You know,
which is easy enough. You guys have enough brawn between you guys to, if somebody gets tired, you can pass them
and
off.
we'll tie ropes off to him so we can make kind of a litter. You know,
Okay.
using ropes and
Sure.
fireman's carry. And so we're carrying him into the city. And I'm going to try to get directions from Dipdong as to where we need to head.
Yeah, he texts you coordinates,
Okay.
like an address, so you can find it pretty easy.
Okay. So that's what we're doing.
All right. What do you do once you get there?
Well, where did he send us?
It's just some shack. It's not.
It's outside of town, or it's in
It's in town, but it's like a half bedroom apartment.
Okay.
It's like one of those apartments that has like a drop bed in the living room and like a bathroom.
Okay. So it's very small.
Very, very small.
We tie him on the toilet like this. With his hands.
Well, what
his
if we
head-
need to use the toilet?
Yeah.
One hand to one
think
foot,
that
one
through.
hand to one foot on the toilet.
So every time he tries to escape, he flushes.
I'm not going to the loo in front of all of you, so
Use the loo.
I'm not going to the loo in front of you. So
Okay. So, I'm not sure where we need to go. We
So
need to
what
get
you
Richard
know,
back.
What you know is that there is a version of the squirrel somewhere in Hong Kong.
Right.
And that's the version of it that you need to stop.
And this guy, Richard, was transforming into, I'm assuming, one of the other Richards,
Correct.
Yeah.
who is apparently not entirely human.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he's not entirely
So you
Knife
can
hands.
probably assume that that's one of the 25.
right.
'Cause remember what he said, like some of those have abilities beyond normal human capacity.
Beyond our capacity, too. So,
You gotta figure a way to get the other guy out, the other personality out, so we can talk to the one that makes sense.
now that we're at this point, I am going to attempt to find basically an apothecary or something like that. I'm going to need to rig something up to where we can give him like sodium pentothal or something where we can control him a little better to get more information as to where we might find the squirrel.
Okay, I'll say that's easy enough for you to find. You don't need to make a roll for that.
Okay.
So you're able to get just kind of the basic chemicals that you would need to kind of construct something.
Okay.
And I would say you have the knowledge to do that.
Yeah, poison is one of my talents.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I'm a poison expert. So I am going to give him a drug that will counteract the effects of the stun. Do you have yours? Are we all ready to wake him up? Is everybody ready? Do you have your stun? Are you going to stun yourself again, or can we count on you?
It is just a pen. Oh, no.
Okay, he's asleep now. So,
Wait. One more. I'd like another cigarette.
okay, so everybody's ready because I don't know what's going to happen. This should keep him under control, but we don't know what he is, so we just don't know. Okay, so we will wake him up. I'll put some little ammonia up underneath his nose.
I got my adrenaline pen too, if you want that.
No, we don't want the other.
Too
That
much.
would be
And-
very.
And I
How is
inject
he
him
tied
with,
up?
with a sodium pentothal. He's handcuffed. He's handcuffed, and then his chest and all that. We've roped him in. He looks like Shalab got a hold of him.
Gotcha.
We did a super swallow job.
Oh, what? Oh. Where? This is terribly uncomfortable.
Is this Richard again?
No, I'm not Richard. What is going on?
Yes. We were hoping you could tell us. Who are you?
Well, I'd shake your hand, but that's going to be hard to do. The name's David.
Another one.
Yeah. And David.
It seems like every time we knock someone out, someone else comes to the forefront.
It seems that
I
way.
see
doesn't
you
it?
already know. Yes, when we sleep, the hive collects. That's a good way to say that. We've kind of got a central location for rest. It's the easiest way to transport information from one place to the next, as well as to get the right person for the job to the right place.
So you actually change who you are. I saw physical changes in Richard. We were dealing with Richard before.
What?
There were
Physical change? What do you mean physical changes?
mechanical. You were becoming more mechanical. Richard Van Krupp is who we were dealing.
More mechanical? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you were
Describe it to me? And he like tries to move and
I'm sorry.
what exactly happened?
He had an animalistic appearance in his eyes,
Okay.
and his hand was turning into more of a bladed, like an edge.
Metallic. You were getting metallic.
His
too.
body transformed?
Yes. That is what we are saying. Yes, we took video and posted on YouTube. See?
That's
We've already got 2 million hits.
that's not possible.
It's going viral. The hive is viral. Get it?
I do. Listen, I know you have no reason to trust me, but I'm literally useless in a fight. If you untie me, I might be able to find who's doing this, because that's not one of me.
Okay, you have to talk. You have to give us more information, because
Well, the names of the 25, and he lists them off.
okay, I'm gonna.
We're dealing
Hit
with
my
the British
record.
Richard again, right?
Okay,
or
so-
whatever.
I'm
No, the
recording.
name's David. Richard.
David.
No, sorry. We
David.
both are. We both portray a personality of one from the UK, but
Okay.
we're not the same. Richard's. I'm number one.
You're number one. Well,
Yes.
okay. Everybody claims they're number one.
No, listen.
No, because remember
I-
it was like a long number.
I am
Oh, that's right.
the first.
You are the first.
Then we have a lot to ask you.
Yes.
I'm David.
Richard was 768,
Yes.
and he's number one.
Oh, that's right. That's what I have written down. I did not have any recollection what that number meant. But I have it written down.
I'm the first, which means I've got the vastest knowledge base of how to create the clones, and listen, I was a part of the entire process from start to finish. I have not missed a memory where
So,
anyone after me has.
But you're unfamiliar with the actual changes of
We've
the
been
body structure.
we've been cut off. I'm sure that it sounds like Richard's kind of got you up to date.
so
Numbers 1 through 25 cut off. We don't know what they're doing, who they are. We don't know anything about them. They've created some sort of collective. And if what you're telling me is true, then they are recreating the process and using their abilities to create new versions.
So how do we prevent you from becoming one of them?
Do not let me sleep. Do not let my mind...
Wow.
Adrenaline coming in.
Do not let me sleep. Do not let my mind waver at all.
So it's about this point that Clouseau takes a
Oh, no.
lampshade off of a lamp, sticks the light right in his face. Who do you act for? Looks back at everybody else. I'm playing the bad cop. Who do you act for? Where's the squirrel? Speak, damn it!
The squirrel. I think you know this. The squirrel. He's another fairly early incarnation. The squirrel is number 12.
I wanted to. Are you sure you're not the squirrel?
What
Well-
about Dimitri?
In a way, I am. Oh, Dimitri. He was a later incarnation. He's number 843.
And who is the blue unicorn? Got a Hong Kong blue unicorn written down.
The blue unicorn is where I first started these experiments.
So is that where we need to go?
That would be my best guess. All of my equipment is still there, and oh god, Nigel's working for him, isn't he?
Who's Nigel?
Oh, he's the guy that talked to us.
Yes, he
Oh,
was
yeah,
our
that's
contact.
right.
Yes,
Yeah, he's our
he was our
contact.
contact.
That's
Yes.
right.
He's
he
kind of
was.
been behind the scenes everywhere we've gone.
Yes,
You
if,
know.
if Nigel is working for these
But yeah, he was.
people, then
You don't know who the people are called?
we don't know their names.
1 through 25.
To us, they're
But
1
he
through
is
25.
number one. So how would it be 1 through
What?
25?
1001 through
Yeah.
1025.
Okay, that's better.
Sorry. That's confusing. It's easy for us to number them 1 through 25 because they are, for all intents and purposes, new incarnation. They're a new being. They're not part of my hive.
Do you know what they do? You have any idea what they want?
I don't know what they want. I know one has the ability to entirely mask his presence, and he can extend that to whoever he wishes. That's how he was able to cut us off. I think that he can still. I think he's probably listening in now.
With that, now we start the bug checking.
But
There is stuff being ripped off of walls.
There's not much wall
there's
here.
not much wall. You
The
rip
bed's
a
being
painting
flipped.
off. You're painting off the wall. It brings the sheetrock with it, and you see the next door neighbor.
Then he starts looking for bugs in the next door neighbor's.
He climbs through the hole. Excuse me, fabulous weather we are having.
That would be funny.
Okay. So
Yes, no, that's I. For all I know, he's listening to me now.
is it in your own mind? Is what you're saying?
Yes, that's
Right.
how we share information. Is we just think it.
How do we block that?
You need his ability.
Oh, that would be very nice. Okay.
Here's,
Gone handy.
Ken, is it on my talent tree?
there are two things we can do, and I need to be untied for one of them. I can tell you where to go, where
I can tell you where to go.
where the generators are, where
It is not in here.
where you might find this copy of me, and you could kill me. David will survive. I've got other clones. I will be transported into another body.
So if you get out of hand, we just need to kill you.
If this is the route you're going to take, I would kill me as soon as you know where to go, so that they cannot hear anything else you do.
Ah! All right. Good plan.
Or
Then we never get to talk to David again.
I know.
He'll get transported and someone
if-
else. We can
if
keep
we
knocking
knock-
him out until we get David.
But every time we have,
David? No!
times.
David? No!
yeah, but pretty soon they
We
will
might
learn.
be here all week, but we'll still get the info.
Or take me with you. I know the ins and outs of the entire building. I literally have the same fingerprints as the people running it now.
But
They-
then they will know. But if we plug
Well-
your ears and we put your head in a sack,
Perhaps that would work.
it's not comfortable for you.
No, I am busy at this point trying to build a David costume.
You do it exponentially well.
So is he still wearing the reeds?
No, he's wearing his clothes that he took off earlier.
Okay. What
Yeah,
else
you
then?
can you can kill me or you can take me with you. You could leave me here, I suppose, but if you do that, I will be captured.
I would go ahead and just take him with
So we
us.
take him.
Let's just go. Come on.
Okay, is that what you think? Okay.
Do we need to blindfold him and put noise-canceling headphones on him?
Yes.
Dull
Yes.
the senses.
We need to put
see
on
what we're going
itty bitty yellow polka dot bikini and have that play non-stop until everyone quits listening to him. Itty bitty teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
No, we know you're not singing.
First, drop.
Everyone
First,
out there has quit listening to us.
we will take you with us, but we will blindfold you and put earmuffs over you. Will you draw us a map to get to this facility?
I will. I need to be untied first.
We untie one of your hands.
He said he was wrapped up in a cocoon of rope.
Yeah,
I don't know that that's gonna be
unwrap it.
possible.
We'll cut the cocoon. You're good. You're good
Okay.
with knives.
Your boot knife.
I cut him free, but then we still have tranquilizer dogs
Yeah. And,
And real guns.
and real. I put my knife to his throat.
I assure you this is not necessary. I am good.
yeah, but Richard assured us, and
I've
then all
got
of a
trusting men issues.
sudden, I have trusting David, Dimitri.
Excuse me, what did you say?
Some of us have a penchant for theft, and some of us really have a penchant for theft, but all in all, we do it to make the world a better place. I think Richard described it to you as 1,000 of the world's fastest and best computers working together on the world's fastest and best computer. We want a better planet.
I have heard that from all kinds of people that have tried to remake the world.
Russia, the United States,
Yes.
But
you know,
did they have 1,000 geniuses?
Venezuela.
But one thing about humanity is not some cookie cutter thing. We work best in our differences, and we work best when we have to come together and problem solve. And I'm not sure that one aspect like yourself can come up with what is best for the world. I just do not believe that. Our diversity is what makes us great. Not
I am diverse,
but you are still all the same. You're clones, no?
in a way.
Yes. So you still have same perspective. You
You
cannot
don't
walk
have an
another person.
individual thought.
Yes.
Perhaps.
You know.
Anyway, he draws out this detailed map over probably like 12 pages of stuff, and says, "Do you want to capture? Do you want to capture him, or do you want to shut the operation down?"
I want to shut the operation down.
We
If we can-
won't want to tell you, so in case he's listening, we don't want to tell you our plan.
If you
Thank you
us
for the map.
both. Yes.
Cover his eyes, cover his ears.
if your aim is to capture one of them, then you would go here, and he points to a space on the map. If your aim is to shut down the mechanics of the building, to destroy the work that I've put in over years and years, you would go here. And he points to a different spot on the map. You're
Why
right.
does that say I'll go school?
It's pronounced Augusco.
I'll go school.
That's what I said.
August.
I'll girls.
Ah.
I'll
Gus.
girls.
You're going to try
Cool.
to teach it?
School.
Cool.
Skull.
Cool.
School.
Cool.
Skill. Hamburger.
Augusco.
Numbskull. Just write it out for him.
I can't remember what
I'm sorry.
5 minutes later, school.
Here we are. I'll go school.
Press like and subscribe.
I think they've probably quit listening to us already.
Kat, you are right. I should not know which one you choose. Those are your options.
Best of luck.
They know. You've got about 45 minutes before they're gone. And they've taken the equipment with them.
Okay, so we
Okay, so
time to call in napalm strike.
Blindfold me now. Put on the headphones. Leave me here. Take me with you. Whatever. Kill me. You're killing a body, a flesh sack. This is nothing.
I do not subscribe to murder.
I tend to agree.
we could always use them for some more information in case something comes along the way.
Possibly.
I don't see the point in killing him right
I
away.
agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe later if I'm being
Yes,
insane.
we can always kill him in the morning.
Then I suggest we leave now. And he lets you guys put the noise canceling headphones on him, the blindfold, and you take off. And we're going to cut off our session there. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep
Like
on
and
adventuring.
subscribe.
Keep on adventuring.
Like and subscribe.
Nerds.